Hello everyone, welcome to Truth Pups. I'm Johnny Puggle, and this is our weekly update. Senator Ron Johnson keeps going after the elites, and this is a powerful United States leader who's talking with congressional members. He's also talking with the White Hats and the FBI, and he's really connected even all the way up to federal marshals. And behind the scenes, he's talking with senators, he's talking with Congress, he's talking with some of the most powerful, influential broadcasters as Joe Rogan, and he's exposing the World Health Organization, and he calls them the elites, and he's talking about them planning to control the whole world, and he keeps exposing this, and he's been doing this for a few years now. He was talking about how the vaccines were planned, how it was planned by the elites, all the lockdowns, and people said he was a conspiracy. But this powerful senator is actually behind the scenes now, and he's talking with federal marshals, he's talking with White Hats, FBI, and he's talking with a lot of congressmen, and he's showing a lot of data, a lot of information. So this is all going to start to blow up soon. That yes, that the World Health Organization, who was controlled by the World Economic Forum, the Davos Group, these people came off the Rothschild family. The Vatican helped create the Rothschild family, dating back to the 1700s, and this is all connected to the Khazarians, who are up in the Ukraine, and then the Khazarians traveled through Germany, and they actually came off of the Middle East, the Khazars, and this is an old story, and then they helped settle over in Frankfurt, different places up in Germany, and then they helped build the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds created the banks, created wars, and they're still creating wars to this day where they profit money. And they also work with J.P. Morgan to create the United States, the big banking systems, the Federal Reserves. Then they killed all their competition. This is what really happened with the Titanic. All the people that were killed there, people that couldn't be bought off, that were against the Federal Reserve, the banking institutions. And this is how J.P. Morgan, the Rothschilds, took over the United States, and then they helped form the Rockefellers. So this is all connected to the vaccines, to all the infinite wars that have been happening through these years, through these decades, centuries. So right now, Ron Johnson is actually going against this huge, gigantic deep state. And as you know, these are white hat operation that's going to connect a military coup that's going to be exposed. So there's a lot of powers that's going on. And behind the scenes, we know that Kash Patel, Donald Trump, they're going to be placing Ron Johnson inside the administration when everything comes in 2025. So everything is being connected right now, and this story is going to keep growing. That World Health Organization pulled a military coup, and they're pulling another military coup on the whole world. So this is all being, this is all being investigated. It's being exposed. Federal marshals to the White Hats, FBI, all the way to Congress, Senate, and different law enforcement in different states. Everybody's preparing. Everybody's getting ready for the big, gigantic storm that's going to be coming, and then the huge exposure of 2024. And this is all going to connect back to the real UFO cover-ups of what's really happening. We haven't been talking about the UFOs because there's a lot of disinformation that's going on inside of Mexico, inside of United States, that they're having different hearings in different places, and the black hats and all the black operations are doing a cover-up, and they're trying to say that they're not part of this UFO, they don't have any advanced technology, they're not part of any operations of human trafficking, smuggling that's connected to UFOs, and all of these different things, So right now, what's really happening behind the scenes is that there's congressional leaders, and then also people that are inside the AG, Attorney Generals of the United States. They're working with the military, and the military has been giving a lot of guidance. The alliance operations is actually pushing the United States Attorney Generals, the white hats underneath Trump, that were appointed by him, and then that were also part of the operations long ago. They're going to bring this thing called the RICO Act. If you don't know what the RICO Act is, it's the Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organization Act of the United States federal law. And this is what brought down a lot of the mafia, crime bosses. You know, it goes after the elites for all of this huge corruption. And this is the only way that you can expose the military. They expose the deep state, where all the trillions of dollars that's been going for maybe over 80 years, you know, even since the CIA was also made back in the 50s, where all these trillions of dollars are missing, where they are going, because it's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional when the presidents don't know where the monies are going, when Congress doesn't sign any bills, any laws about any of these dark projects that are financing different technologies that are hidden, and all of these dark military programs that are hiding all of these UFOs. A lot of these UFOs were created even back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like the Tic Tac UFO. You know, this dates back to the 60s, that it's been used a few times. Military have seen this in different military installations, and there's a lot of real truth that's going to be coming out, and it's already out there. There's some people that have really exposed all of this stuff, but we'll put this all together in due time to let everybody know what's really happening with the UFO disclosure, because this is vital. It's important to deep state operations. The reason why this is vital is because they're hiding technology that can save the world. It can transfer the world. You know, all the wars that are created for oil, for fighting for natural resources, for energy. And this is how the deep state controls the world, is through oil, through different, you know, like electricity, gas, oil, natural resources. They control countries, and these are why wars are fought also. And this is how you control humans, through taxes, through inflation, keep people working. But the real technology to be exposed, this is what the real Great Awakening is really connected to, you know, because it's connected to different things of technology for healthcare, to advance our civilization as humans, to come together. There's so much power, information, and it's connected back to Tesla. It's connected back to infinite energy. There's energy that that you can get out, you know, even out of the plants, out of water, out of the air. And this technology is so important because it exposed, and it brings down the deep state. It brings down the people who control all the financial banking systems around the world. And the central banking system is connected to Switzerland. And Switzerland is controlling the central banking systems around the world, and they're the one who did the pandemic. So it goes all the way back to the World Economic Forum, the Davos group, you know, the people inside of these Fortune 500 companies, the Committee of 300, BlackRock. It's the same people that we've been talking about. But this stuff, it goes all the way back to biblical times. That's why Q is telling you that this is biblical. Yes, there are aliens. Yes, there are things that are inside the earth. There are things that are going to be exposed. What's really hard for people to understand is the more we come to the truth, the more unbelievable it will be. Most people will be shocked. You know, most people will start to deny the truth. And that's why the Great Awakening takes time, because all this is connected to super technology. So right now, through the RICO Act, the military alliance is working with different people in Congress. They're working with people in the AG, and they want to put this in place by the end of 2024. to bring in the RICO Act to go after the deep state. All of these things are illegal to be operating these dark operations. You know, all of these dark budgets that they have underground bases where they're hiding all the money, finances, all the technology for health industries, for the world to be revitalized. All of these technologies, you know, they're unconstitutional because, you know, Congress never signed off on this. The presidents of the United States didn't even know about this. Even from Senate to different states, nobody has ever signed this money to ever be used to be allocated to these operations. So these operations are all illegal. Now for these people who are working for these operations, you know, this will help them escape. This will bring a lot of whistleblowers forward, because a lot of these people who work for like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and you know, the military industrial complex system, these people who sign contracts with them that they can never speak, now that will be exempt through the RICO Act to show that these were illegal operations. And everything that a lot of people sign, those papers will be non-existent, and they'll be void because these were unconstitutional projects. And that means there's no law that holds people binding to these papers that they sign to keep secret. And then it'll also expose all the money trails. It's going to expose the CIA, the Pentagon, the JFK assassination. So that's why the UFO disclosure is vital. It's super important. It connects everything that you can imagine and then that you can't imagine too. So Q the Stormrider had already said it in 2020 and 21 that there would be a war, you know, that a war would break out. And inside this war that was going to happen, that was going to take place in Europe, during that time, the alien invasion and then alien exposures would start to happen. The disclosures would start to happen. Now, as you know, the Ukraine-Russian war broke out. Now the alien disclosure is happening, the false disclosures, and then the real disclosures has already happened, but then now they're being reinforced as a lot of people inside Congress, the Senate, and inside intelligence communities, and then the open communities like the FBI, a lot of white hats, a lot of them inside, you know, like law enforcement powers up to the court systems. They kind of know what's really happening. They're getting intel and they're getting briefings on what's going to happen in the future that's coming. So this is all connected, you know. It's biblical. It's all connected to technology. It's all connected to powers, you know, that control the world for centuries, for thousands of years. And this all connects back to even to the Khazarian mafia who controls Ukraine, and the Khazarians came off of north, the Middle East and in the north. But the real stories, they actually connect over to Iraq, and this connects back to the old aliens that were there, to the Samar gods, you know, that used to be Iraq, the Sumerians. It connects back to their gods. It connects back to the fallen angels. Khazars, the Khazarians, were some of the first human traffickers that did it on a massive scale. And then people were really frightened of them. They killed a lot of people. And then they also stole identities as they went from country to country. They stole people's identities, and they actually became those different people. Later on, they're going to steal the identity of the Jewish people. Then they're going to go into Judaism. And to this day, those are the same people now that control almost all of social media. That's why a small country as Israel, it controls almost a lot of technology. It controls a lot of money through the world, through the Rothschilds, through the Vatican, through the CIA, MI6, Mossad. And the Rothschilds, if you look, you'll see they're directly connected, to Ghislaine Maxwell's father. They're the one who financed him and gave him the money, but they're also the ones who killed him, and it's connected back to Epstein. So all of this stuff that's happening in the United States, with the alien disclosure, people are in panic because they can't pull off the alien invasion that was planned. Q the Stormrider had told you that there are, safety measures in place because they wanted to do the alien invasion. They want to start at the beginning of the year. But now all the disclosure is coming in that the military is hiding, advanced technology, and they're also pretending, to have like UFOs be aliens. But the real truth is, it's not really about the aliens. The real truth is about the United States military, the deep state military, of what they're hiding. They're hiding technology, and then all the money that's been, trillions of dollars, that's been hidden for over 60 years, 80 years, these trillions of dollars that went to black budgets, black operations. Now this connects back to human trafficking. That's why Donald Trump signed the human trafficking on his executive order, that he was going after this. Then he sent out a lot of military operations to go after these human trafficking chains. And that's why Epstein was arrested. That's why the military was already on the Epstein Island before the FBI got there. They had taken all the servers that nobody knows about. A lot of stuff from McAfee. He knows all of the human trafficking connections, all the money laundering. And that's why this is so important, why the alliance is going after the RICO Act, to expose this full corruption system of the deep state that's connected to human trafficking, to warmongering, to the weapons trade, to the world drug trade, and then to hiding the technology that can save the world. And this technology being suppressed, that's why the deep state controls the oil, the gases, and control humans through tax systems, through massive inflations. And that's why humans have to work all the time, and they lose hope. And it's a spiritual war, so people begin to lose hope, and all they worry about is work, work, and work. And then just a few days off, then they have to work again, and they have a mental burnout. And this is a spiritual war on humans. The Great Awakening, this is what the Christ mind, this is what the most powerful masters across the world, this is what they were talking about, is infinite energy that exists inside the mind, it exists inside the spirit, it exists inside the movement of people awakening together. So this is huge of what we're going through. We're going through this big storm, and the storm at the end is connected to huge, massive arrest wars. Now, MSN, people aren't joking anymore about the storm and the arrest wars. They used to make a lot of fun of it back in the 2019, 2020, 2021. But now they're all scared. And the CIA, everybody is scared because nobody wants to deal in the United States money anymore. And everybody's going over to BRICS, and they're switching over. And, Mohammed bin Salam, on that side, he's pulling strings. He's going to bring world, not world peace, but Middle East peace, that he's going to come in 2024 at the end. He's going to create a huge, massive peace movement through the Middle East, through the Muslim nation. Now he's going to connect back with Trump, and in this time, and in 2025, Xi is going to step down as the CCP is going to experience one of their hugest collapse, and then there's going to be a huge military coup, and then a new power is going to come in, and then in 2026, the CCP will cease to exist, and they're going to stop all the communism that's going on there. But you have to remember, Xi, he was actually placed, and he was all part of military operations, and he's going to sacrifice himself to free China. And there's already operations in place. So this worldwide operation is taking place. Now you see how massive it is. It's connected to the all families of the Khazarians. It was human trafficking, praying to Bali. They infiltrated Israel, and then they created all the wars. They actually put people through Germany as the Khazarians moved through there. Then they created the Rothschilds. They created with the Vatican. They created the World Wars. And then after that, they helped create the United States banking institutions, a Federal Reserve with the J.P. Morgans. So this thing is huge, massive, to CIA corruption, FBI corruption, NSA corruption, all the way to military corruption. And this is all being exposed right now. So whether or not the deep state makes an alien invasion, they try to keep doing it, you're going to see some powerful technology come out. Or whether the white hats expose it, both sides are going to expose it, that there are powerful technologies. But in the end, you always have to believe that God wins. We are sacred. The Great Awakening is happening, and you're inside this beautiful, powerful, masterful storm. So keep your faith, keep strong. There's a lot of operations happening in different countries to expose what's going to happen. But first, we have to keep going through the collapse, and we have to watch the sheeple. The sheep, they have to wake up through the great darkness that they're going to see. Only until then, a lot of them are going to join the fight to expose the corruption of their governments, their countrymen, the full corruption that leads to presidents, that leads to the military. So now you're getting the idea of what the storm is. It's biblical, it's massive. It's about hundreds of trillions of dollars that's been missing. It's about the enslavement of society. It's important why Q told you that Israel is saved for last. That's because the United States has been using Israel for a long time. Different countries, the UN, United Nations, the Khazarians, all have been protecting Israel. Because one day, they want Israel to be attacked. Again, they want it to be attacked. And then they want to set off a world war using Israel. And that's what the United States is doing right now. So they want to provoke Iran into war. This is coming for 2024. And Iran's going to be provoked. Then the United States with the World Economic Forum, the Davos group from different countries. They already have all their people who work, like in the high-tech industries, these cyber hackers, there's over 25,000 different cyber hacker groups that exist, and a lot of them's run by the World Economic Forum inside of Europe, inside the United States. And then they're going to pretend that Iran has attacked the United States and with Russia, and they're going to pull off this huge, gigantic cyber hack. That's why Klaus Schwab has been warning everyone that in 2024, there's going to be a massive cyber attack. But it's a huge false flag event. This cyber attack is meant to bring in global banking. They want to take over the military through the UN. They want to make all these laws with the pandemic treaty. Then they want to stop all the censorship. Then they want to mix the banking systems with the intelligence systems. And this will go into digital IDs to control all humans, to track humans, to track all the finances. And this was all connected, also to a huge banking collapse because they don't have any money left. The real truth is all the money has been seized, and Donald Trump was doing this with the military. Actually, the United States military was doing this in 2015, 16, secret operations taking money from the Vatican, from different world powers, and they're hidden underneath Cheyenne Mountain. So Q the Storm Rider talked about this already a long time ago. So now the Rothschilds are hiding the last of their gold inside of Switzerland. The Vatican has recalled all of their money. People are running out of money, J.P. Morgan. So now they have to do this huge, gigantic, fake, cyber attacks so they can hide all the trillions of dollars that has been siphoned, that has been seized for, for centuries. This has been going on, and especially the past 60 years. And they're trying to hide, they're trying to do all the cover-ups. And this was like It's sort of like the 207, the banking collapse in the United States. This is the new one that they're trying to do in 2024 to hide all the trillions of dollars that's missing, even through the Pentagon, through the CIA, through the FBI, through different government divisions that's been working with the DNC, and then all the banking collapse. They don't have any money left. So now they don't want to get in trouble, and they're trying to pull the next biggest, gigantic heist, to fool people. But they're also going after digital IDs, full censorship, and this is all connected to UFOs, all the money that's been disappearing through black operations. This is really important. So this is a huge, gigantic storm, and they're using Israel. They're intentionally provoking Iran. So inside the military intelligence, they already knew all these plans were going to happen. And that's why Q was telling you, Israel is saved for last, the real exposure. Because Israel will connect to Epstein, the human trafficking, to the Rothschilds, who are using Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who installed some of the first blackmail operations through the world. And this is all connected back to Microsoft, to Bill Gates. It's connected back to the cabal, the deep state, and it's connected back to human trafficking, the world epidemic. This is such a massive storm that we are inside of, but it's connected to revealing the most powerful technologies that exist that humans don't know about. This is connected to civilizations before the current civilization that we are in. Underneath the Vatican, there's five miles long of all the hidden technology, different books that were hidden, the real Bibles that were hidden. Some people say it's 55 miles long underneath there. But we know military intelligence in 2017, they went underneath and they took all the gold and they took a lot of documents. So you're inside this massive storm, and you got to get ready, because the countdown now is 1 year. The countdown starts, but all this will be exposed. There's safety measures that's going to be in place, but we've been telling you for a long time, the black hats want the collapse to happen. The white hats want the collapse to happen, because that's going to show a world military coup that took place. So you're inside the storm, and you guys take care of each other. You guys be ready, and we'll keep sharing information, very important information, connected to what's really happened with the UFO disclosure, and then we'll start bringing in real disclosure of the UFOs and what's happening behind the scenes. One last thing, Q the Storm Rider was right when he told you that there are safety measures in place, to prevent, the fake alien invasion. The past months, the Pentagon has denied that the CIA, the Pentagon, the military doesn't have any possession of UFOs or any alien spacecrafts or anything like this. They've been denying it inside hearings that are happening inside the United States, inside of Mexico. But now, just like Q the Storm Rider said, people inside the Pentagon, CIA, and inside the intelligence communities are coming forward, and they are admitting that the CIA does have UFOs and aircraft and super advanced technology. And this came from the CIA whistleblowers themselves. They said inside of the CIA has over 9 different aircrafts, but there's much more than that. And this is all connected to Eglin Air Force Base, where the whistleblowers are coming out of. So this is over in Florida. This is very interesting. If you've been following Q the Storm Rider, he's been talking about Florida, Eglin Air Force Base, and yet he had friends there who had classified information. This was since 2014. Q the Storm Rider was under a different name, but we've been following him. We know who he is, and he's been talking about Eglin Air Force Base for a long time and the classified information that's there. But now that's coming out. But what makes this all interesting is that the United States Air Force, they're the people who created USSF, United States Space Force. And this is with Musk, this is with Cheyenne Mountain. So behind the scenes, the white hats underneath the USSF, underneath Trump Cheyenne Mountain. They're exposing their own operations and they're bringing it to light, and nobody can stop all of this information. So all of this is going to come out, and this is what the war is over. You know, advanced technology, trillions of dollars missing, who's been controlling the world for a long time through banking system, creating all the wars, the viruses, the corruption. You know, why Israel is going to be used to try to bring in World War III. So all of this is happening, as Q the Storm Rider has been saying. So please support us as we keep giving you the truth and real information, because our tails are on the line, and we could also get in trouble for trying to help in this time, as there's a lot of people being arrested and persecuted. We really appreciate if you guys can donate to our link down below inside our PayPal, and then inside our buy us a coffee. So we'll add that on the link below. But we have a lot of stuff to tell you guys, and we're happy that you guys are listening out there. We'll talk to you guys soon.